he is currently in court right now facing a civil suit with one other gentleman, and the civil suit is against Nikita Hand against Conor McGregor, and I believe the other gentleman is James Lawrence. So, without further, we're gonna start with day one and then go up to day four, which is from the 5th of November to the 8th of November. So that's the time period that we're covering today. So you said the headline reads, he wasn't taking no for an answer. Woman who claims she was raped by Conor McGregor described how she tried to fend off the MMA fighter. So what we're gonna do is all of these reports are detailing each day in court. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna read from it, and I'm gonna provide my thoughts and analysis based on what is being described in these articles. Personally, I have no conviction, or I am going to be naturally objective, or I'm going to try to be as objective as possible and in reacting to all of this, because again, this is just news to me. I only read some parts just to get an idea of what's going on, but the rest of the days, like day 1 and day 3 to 4, they're all new to me. So I only know what's happened a bit from day 2 based on the reports that I've read. So let's go on to read it. A woman who claims, hold up, it's not highlighting. All right. A woman who claims she was raped by Conor McGregor has spoken how she tried to fend off the MMA fighter. He just wasn't taking no for an answer, Nikita Hand said in the witness box in the High Court. So what's going on right now is the direct exam. She's going first, and then she will be cross-examined. And I think Conor McGregor and the other gentlemen are going to take the stand on James Lawrence. That's the name of the other gentleman. They're going to take the stand later on in the lawsuit. On Monday, I believe they should be able to take the stand, or maybe Tuesday. I'm not too sure. Okay, so let's continue with the reading. He was just not taking. He kept. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Okay, so let me start again. He kept telling me to. Let me start again. He just wasn't taking no for an answer, Nikita said in the witness stand in the High Court. He kept telling me to relax, baby, relax, rubbing my face. He pinned me right down to the bed. I remember putting my arms up to defend herself just to keep him away from me. I held my arms against his chest, and he just kept pushing his weight down on top of me. Miss Hand, 35, a hair colorist from Drumnark in Dublin, also known as Nikita Hand, began her evidence today in her civil action against McGregor, 36, and his associate James Lawrence. So my pronunciations are going to be really horrible. So if you're an Irish person reading this, apologies in advance. I'm going to do my best to try and pronounce them as accurately as possible. So she has sued them for damages, claiming she was raped by both men in a penthouse suite at the Beacon Hotel in Dublin on December 9th, 2018, when she was aged 29. Miss Hand, a female friend, and Lawrence were brought to the hotel that morning by McGregor, who she knew and communicated with on Instagram. She had attended an alcohol and cocaine-fueled work Christmas party the night before and had gone with McGregor as she wanted to keep partying. Miss Anne claimed that once there, McGregor invited her to perform oral sex on him, a comment she did not respond to. She goes on to say, I didn't want to make a big issue of a big deal out of it, quote unquote. But the mother of one said she later found herself alone in the penthouse bedroom with McGregor. She told the court she did not want to have sex with him and explained to him she felt uncomfortable because she knew the family of McGregor's partner, Dee Devlin. Okay, so she was a family friend. Interesting. I wasn't there for anything like that. I was there to have a party and have a good time, she said. Miss Hand is due to continue her evidence tomorrow. Yes, giving testimony is evidence. It's part of, it's an oral evidence. It's part of, so usually, let's continue reading. She took the stand after her counsel, John Gordon SC, opened her case to a jury of 4 men and 8 women. That's 12. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, that must be a UK thing then, where even in civil cases facing with a jury. No. This is Ireland, because in the UK, if this was a civil case, this would be handled by a judge. So this might be this is a different jurisdiction. So they will be doing things a bit differently, because I know in the UK you kind of have to petition to have a jury, and then the court would decide whether to give you a jury or not in civil cases. But I don't know how it works in Ireland. The barrister told the jury Miss Hand was violently raped by father of 4 McGregor and left with extensive bruises and abrasions, including black and blue wrists, a bloodied scratch to her breast, and neck pain after being placed in a stranglehold. He said Miss Hand would tell the court she submitted after McGregor 3 times put her in arm lock until she could not breathe. If McGregor is alleging that this is all fake, but says that because he has said that they had consensual sex, was it possible that if what he's saying is true, this just sounds like, hey, could you please do what you do to your opponents with me? That's what it sounds like to me. But let's continue reading. Mr. Gordon said that during the assault, McGregor is alleged to have told her, now you know what it's like in the octagon when I had to tap myself out 3 times. That's why I think that. Because if it was consensual, as he said, then it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for her to like ask him, oh, let me know what you do, because it's kind of an interest point, you know. He's an MMA fighter. So if you know him and you want to some people might have that kind of idea to go into that meeting. I'm not saying this is what happened, by the way. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate, because if true, then it is likely that she may have just asked, oh, how does it feel to be in a ring fighting an opponent, and could you demonstrate on me or something like that? I don't know. Let's continue. It says, the court heard Miss Hand presented at the sexual assault treatment unit, SATU, of the Rotunda Hospital the following morning, an absolute wreck, constantly weeping and in pain. She told a doctor who examined her that an assailant held me by the neck and I thought he was going to kill me. A tampon embedded in her vagina had to be removed with her forceps. What are forceps? Let me look that up. Define forceps. Oh, forceps are a pair of pinches or tweezers used in surgery in laboratory. Okay, that's forceps are. Let's go into tweezer. Let's go into the article and continue reading. It It says Dr. Daniel Kane, the gynecologist who examined her, told the court she was very upset, shaking and crying throughout, and had difficulty sitting due to pain. McGregor and Lawrence of Raptors Road in Drimnagh sat either side of McGregor's father, Tony, at the back of a pack of four courtroom as the case against them that was detailed by Mr. Gordon. Both deny Miss Hand's claims and say they each twice had consensual sex with her at the hotel that day. Miss Hand had no recollection of a second sexual encounter with McGregor or of any sexual encounter with Lawrence. Both men say her claims are false and malicious, patently made in bad faith. In their defense papers, they allege a claim by her for damages so she can relocate to a new home amounted to extortion. Mr. Gordon, who appeared instructed by Solicitors Coleman Legal, said McGregor had claimed he and Miss Hand were just having fun and a bout of rough sex. Fair enough. He said the defendants would try to portray her as a gold digger and a fraud, but the barrister said his client's account would be backed up by medical evidence. That must have been the opening statements that they were making the assertions. So he said McGregor is saying to you she consented to the state that she ended up in. Mr. Gordon told the jury. Yeah, this is opening statements. In his defense, Mr. McGregor claimed his hand was enjoying and moaning with pleasure. According to his account, at no point did she ask him to stop. He claims intercourse was physical and involved a number of different positions. Mr. Gordon told the jury, what McGregor, is saying to you is that she consented. She gave him license to carry out what have been a brutal assault on her body. I think you'll find it unimaginable that anyone would do that. The rapes, he said, he had left her suffering from depression, stress, panic attacks, frightened of the area she was living in, and frightened of McGregor. The jury was given the SATU report and 20 photographs of injuries visible on Miss Hand's body. Dr. Kane told the court the extent of the bruising was unusual and that he had to remove the tampon which he described as being wedged at the top of her vagina. Ouch. So Dr. Kane is a gynecologist. He must have been the first witness up before Miss Hand took the stand to give her direct exam. So he must have been the first witness up. Mr. Gordon said his client was no angel, and on the evening of December 8th, she had been partying hard. She had lots to drink. Her spirit of choice is Bacardi. She had some beer. She had some cocaine. He said his client was also on an antidepressant, called sertraline at the time. He said McGregor was then enormously famous and in Drimnagh was the hero of the hour. Miss Hand had been living in Dublin suburb at the time with her then partner Stephen and their 7-year-old daughter. Okay, I can see why. So if what Conor McGregor is alleging is to be an extortion, and it would, if she had a family at the time, it would also be for personal interest as well. But again, like I said, I don't know the full details. Hopefully when we reach day 4, it'll be clearer what happened. So he said she and some friends had gone to a Christmas circus in Dundrum and then to a pub in Goatstown. They then went back to the salon where she worked to continue the party. There had been some communication with McGregor on Instagram, and he arrived with a car and driver to pick her and her friend up from the saloon around 9 a.m. the following morning. The car drove and around various housing estates, eventually arriving at Lawrence's house. Mr. Gordon said McGregor went into the house. Lawrence came out and got into the front of the car. Then McGregor, who had a bag of baking soda, got into the back of the car with the two women. So Miss Hand was with her friend apparently. Miss Hand would later tell the court she remembers that she and her friend took some of the baking soda, but didn't remember seeing McGregor or Lawrence doing so. The group arrived at the Beacon Hotel and went up to a penthouse. It is claimed that soon after they arrived, McGregor beckoned her to suck on that, which she said was a reference to his penis.